we doing? First of all, I'd like to thank you for giving me the opportunity to dress up like James Bond tonight. I also want to thank you for being a part of fundraising for the greatest charity in the world. I know that many of you have been dedicated to St. Jude's for a long time, and I truly cannot thank you enough. Many of you remember the little boy Jonah who was here last year, and I'm very sorry to tell you that he didn't make it, but that's the reality that we go through day to day. I'm privileged to stand here before you as a 12-year brain tumor survivor. But before I tell you my story, I'd like to start with the man who started it all. The man who had the audacity to say that one day children who were diagnosed with cancer would have a fighting chance to survive. His name is Danny Thomas. More than 70 years ago, Danny Thomas, a young struggling actor, did not have enough money to pay for his wife to be discharged from a hospital after having their daughter Marlo Thomas. He went to Mass and he prayed with all his heart to St. Jude, the patron saint of lost causes. He said, "Help me find my way in life, and I will build you a shrine." He went home, and he found out that he had received a call from a local TV station that wanted him to play a role in a new show. From there, Danny's career skyrocketed, but he still had to build St. Jude a shrine, and he wasn't sure how he was going to do it. After much consultation with close friends and business partners, I know that many of you were there, that's incredible. And Danny decided that he needed to open a children's hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. However, this hospital would not be like any other. No child would have to pay for treatment. It would be a hospital without walls. They would research cures and treatments to life-threatening diseases to children, and they would share that information all over the world. Danny's dream was that no child should die in the dawn of life, and he truly spent his own life dedicated to making this a possibility. This hospital is Danny's dream, becoming a reality day by day. My life collided with St. Jude's when I was 6 years old. I had severe headaches throughout kindergarten, which were misdiagnosed as sinus infections and other different things. Finally, one day I lost my vision in my left eye after nap time. When I got to the doctor, my vision was 20/20 again, but just to be safe, the pediatrician wanted me to get an MRI. That was when the bad news came. I had an extremely rare, inoperable brain tumor called a hypothalamic juvenile pilocytic astrocytoma, for all of you who are taking notes. And doctors in Atlanta had only seen one of my type of tumor. They had no idea how to treat it. They wanted to start me on the standard chemotherapy treatment and hope it worked. My parents delayed starting treatment multiple times and desperately searched for another option, a better option. We finally found St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. St. Jude had treated over 35 of my type of tumor in the last 4 years. My mom, my brother, my sister, and I moved up to Memphis and lived in the Ronald McDonald House, and my dad commuted on the weekends. I did 8 weeks of experimental, intense, pinpoint radiation to try to shrink my tumor. As a 6-year-old, I was bolted down to a table for 30 minutes a day, 6 days a week, to try to save my life. My hair fell out, I lost weight, I felt horrible, but amazingly my tumor began to shrink. After living in Memphis for 3 months, I was finally able to go home again. My mom homeschooled me through 1st grade, and I was ready to become a normal kid again. But cancer still found a way to interfere with my life. Next came the side effects. Because of where my tumor was located, my body didn't naturally produce any growth hormone. I began giving myself growth hormone shots every night in 3rd grade. They worked and I started to grow again. However, I was going through puberty too fast, and in order to grow more, doctors put me on another shot once a month with a much larger needle to suppress my puberty. Cancer had found another way to interfere with me. Because of the Lupron shots, I was unable to walk or run for a week out of every month. I could play baseball, which was pretty much all I cared about at the time. Eventually, doctors said that I could just do the growth hormone shots and that I would grow to a normal height. I also developed an adrenal gland problem. My body didn't make any adrenaline, which means I could go on roller coasters. But if I broke a bone, I would have to have an injection of adrenaline because my body would not make any. Then as a preteen, due to the radiation weakening my bones, my spine started to grow the wrong way. I developed severe scoliosis, and I wore a full-body plastic back brace for 20 hours a day for 3 years to try to correct it somewhat so that I didn't have to have surgery. Today I am completely side effect free, but it took 12 years to be that way. St. Jude, as you all know, is not like any hospital in the world. They pay 100% of treatment costs if a family cannot afford the treatment for their child so that parents can focus on getting their child better, not on how they're going to pay the bills. If any of you have been to Memphis and seen St. Jude, you notice it doesn't look like a hospital. There are paintings all over the walls. When I was diagnosed, they let kids ride around on tricycles through the hospital. I think I ended that after I ran over my doctor. There are literally skyscrapers and skyscrapers all over the campus dedicated to research. There are hundreds of scientists that come to work every single day searching for a breakthrough. Just one of the amazing projects St. Jude is working on is the Pediatric Cancer Genome Project. St. Jude has taken DNA of thousands of cancer patients that were diagnosed when they were children, and they're looking for the cause of cancer. Scientists are sorting through billions and billions of genes to find the defective gene that all childhood cancer patients might have, so that they could potentially recognize it when a baby is born, before cancer begins to form. No other cancer institution in the world is doing this. There is currently a building being constructed on campus to hold a 3-story tall proton radiation machine, one of only 5 in the world. This machine radiates only the cancer area and none of the surrounding area, producing significantly less side effects. It's amazing. This is where your money is going when you support St. Jude's. I am so lucky to stand here before you today. I owe my life to the dedicated doctors and nurses of St. Jude. But I've known so many kids along the way who fought for their lives just as hard as I did, but didn't make it. I promise you that until every single child who is diagnosed with cancer has a chance to grow up, has a chance to go to school, has a chance to have a family one day, has a chance to live a normal life, the doctors and nurses at St. Jude will be there day and night searching for a cure, so that one day St. Jude can shut its doors forever. The doctors and nurses will be so happy they don't have a job. Until that day, St. Jude's needs you. For as Danny Thomas said, no child should die in the dawn of life. Thank you.